Holy cow, everybody, it's Divine Bovine back with another episode of Low Tier Match Analysis where we look at bronze, silver, gold gameplay and discuss what's going on, how you can get better. In this episode, we're going to discuss aggression and is your team being aggressive enough? Are your team being aggressive enough? I don't know. I don't know how that works. A lot of times I see matches where people just tend to fight at the choke and never moving forward, even when they have an opening. This is a huge problem. When you have your fights on the point, things just magically work out and you start winning more games and taking more ground and capturing more payloads and all that stuff. Right here we see this really out of position Pharah. I have no idea. Spawn advantage is not going to help them at that point. My gameplay isn't great right here, and this goes to show you a lot that, you know, you don't even have to have great gameplay. Okay, so they're down one, and we're down one, but our soldier can run back to point. So our Reinhardt tries to make a push. He gets caught by a Junkrat trap, and that kind of destroys our push. We should probably have... I don't know. Let's see. We get a... they pick our Pharah, and at this point we should just cleanly communicate, back up, regroup. It's not working. But instead we just kind of have this sort of lazy fight. And this is what happens at this level, is that you win, not because you're better than the other team, but they make more mistakes. I've heard that, but this is this is actually how it plays out. I'm going to try to skip forward where I come back. And right here you can see we have a couple flankers. We have a Pharah up top, and I think this is our soldier. So Pharah, soldier are flanking around the building or through the building. I'm not on point yet, but our team sort of starts to make a push. Reinhardt needs healing. I come around the corner. I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm way ahead of the Reinhardt shield. I'm in a bad position. But look at what's happening in the kill feed. We have our flankers got 2 picks. Yeah, they got 1. But it's time to move in, right? We're still at a 1-man advantage. It's time to move in. They ult and take me out. In fact, their soldier takes 2 of us out, so they're at a man advantage. But we have a nano-boosted Reinhardt and a Pharah on the map. You'll see this later when we're on defense, how their nano-boosted Reinhardt did not help them. And I believe it's because we sort of fully committed to the match. Now, the supports got wiped out by the soldier ult, but what that did is it drew enough attention away for the rocket barrage to come out and all that stuff.
I'm coming.
Anyways, you can see that whenever our Reinhardt tried to push in, we all followed in. Maybe it was luck, maybe it's magic, I don't know. Now, we get this, the enemy Pharah is separated from her team, and I've seen this quite a few times lately, and it's really powerful if the Pharah waits for a developed team fight, coordinated team fight from the defense, and then she sort of flies in from behind out of nowhere. Everyone's forgotten about her and puts in a lot of work. Now, this Pharah did not wait long enough for us to forget about her. I called it out. And so right now, her commitments are sort of split between what she wants to do, which is throw rockets at the payload and kill us, and take me out because I'm giving her trouble and she's discorded. She right now should have just left, got the discord out. She's not able really to commit to either me or the team fight, and it just doesn't work out for her. Now, the rest of this match is quite boring because the enemy team just continues to trickle in. We have ridiculous ult usage like you see there that doesn't really do anything, but we still just manage to keep pushing the payload because the enemy team does not ever group up. So let me skip forward a little bit here. They have the high ground, we have the low ground, whatever. I'm going to skip forward a little bit more. Skipping forward. Forward. Here's where I can take out a Pharah. Note to Pharah players, if you're not flying, projectile players are almost as dangerous as hit scan players. Because we only have to think about 2 dimensions. We don't have to think about you going up and down, just left and right, and that's pretty easy. What happened right there is they had their 2 tanks come out, and they came out really far and started engaging us before the rest of their team came out. So it's basically like a 6-on-2 at that point. It wasn't hard for our fair to get around, take out the Reinhardt. Now we're just being cheeky. I think we have Graviton and ulting Reinhardt. Reinhardt goes back to clean up that D.Va, and they're just trickling out. Like, they could have put up... Again, it's really hard to just sit in spawn and wait for the rest of your team, especially in a solo queue. But if they had done that, they could have defended, knocked another minute off the timer. You know, if it comes down to a tie, the time remaining matters. So, again, it's one of the hardest things to do is to regroup. But what we're going to talk about here is aggression. I'm going to fast forward to the defensive part where I play Zarya. And you'll see how we make a lot of mistakes, but the other team makes more. So right here, match starts off. I'm telling my teammates, like, hey, I can't really bubble you well. If you back up a little bit, it's going to be good. Really strange things happen here. I believe that this player is our Mercy, and I have no idea how she got so out of position. But she gets picked off early. And the enemy team does not capitalize. So we get a pick on our Mercy. The enemy team should be shouting right now, move, 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 our Reinhardt's low. We're all backing up. And look how slowly they're just deathballing up, right? What should be happening is they should be charging. Maybe I get a little trash damage, but their healers should be able to take up that trash damage, right? They are not doing themselves a service by slowly deathballing. What you're going to see here is their D.Va player. So I have a Discord, and I start to back up because I'm taking a lot of damage. But their D.Va does an amazing thing, and that is she flies up and takes me out. Now, this is what a D.Va player should be doing. You use your jetpack and your flight to eliminate the height advantage. If there's one player on higher ground, like a sniper or something, get up there, fly in, defense matrix, bully them. So you can see it from the D.Va player. Fly up there, erase that man advantage. I'm the only person. I'm all alone. Take me out, right? And then she gets back on, flies back right with her team. Excellent D.Va usage on their part. But what's happening? There's no team fight breaking out. We were down a Mercy, who I'm sure is back on point. Now they're down. We're down a tank and a Reinhardt. And there's still no fight breaking out on the point. I don't know where they are. They're just having this fight at the choke, and it's really to our advantage. So, where are they? Okay, again, we're down a Reinhardt. I don't know exactly what they're down, but their Reinhardt should be charging up on the point. And instead, what do you see? He's moving up and down, taking chip damage, trash damage, whatever you want to call it. Not really doing a lot. Maybe they're waiting for a regroup. But I get in there and I get some charge on my shields, and we have a Symmetra that is just firing, you know what I mean? Firing these orbs down there. Yeah. And look at this soldier. He put his healing station there. Like, what are you planning on doing? Are you planning just to sit there and shoot from the choke and have the fight at the choke? That's not advantageous. You could be having, you know what I mean? If you need to regroup, have it right there. Be right there. And then you don't take any chip damage and you don't waste a cooldown on a healing station. I don't know what's going on. But magically, I've watched this video a whole bunch of times. I have no idea how it happens. Now, our Symmetra is in this room setting up turrets, but somehow she gets a pick on the soldier who had a healing station, but somehow maybe he walked into one of those slow-moving Symmetra balls. Now, this is very unlucky for the other team because our Reinhardt shield breaks, and they take that as their initiative cue, but what happens simultaneously, randomly, because they're in the choke taking trash damage, their soldier gets picked. But they've committed, sort of, as you can see, to this team fight. So their Reinhardt goes in and gets boosted. But then what happens? You would expect that this area is flooded with their DPS and support, but the only person we see is their D.Va. Reinhardt hammers us down, creates all this open space. Who's left on the point? Just maybe a Reinhardt, a Lucio, and a soldier. Right? Where's their Zenyatta? He should be coming in discording us. Their Genji should be coming in with the Swift Strike melee combo to get everyone who's down. Take advantage of these things. Again, they're not having the fight on the point. Here comes Zenyatta. I don't know who he's trying to protect. I think Zenyatta and Ana come up. But at this point, it's too late. They've lost the advantage of the Earthquake. All of us go and focus down their Reinhardt. He's even got a Harmony Orb he gets taken out. I don't know. Symmetra takes out their Ana, and at this point they panic all. That's not going to get anybody, even if it does. But look at, why is there Genji up there? Just commit to the fight, right? So now, this is again not a... I think we have all 6 of our players against, their soldier. Maybe they didn't wait for the soldier to regroup, but even so, only like a couple of their team members came on point when they had this huge opening. So their Reinhardt rightfully created an opening. Nobody followed up. The D.Va followed up. I don't know why the Zen ulted. So at this point, they're kind of regrouping in the proper spot. They're not taking trash damage. They're waiting for their people to come back. Right? I'm just trying to get a little bit of Zarya charge. We get a Symmetra trying to burn down their shield a little bit. I'm basically telling them, hey, you're still not backed up enough, Baiting out the Rhine charge. We get a Rhine charge. And again, nobody follows up. So is the Rhine out of position? Or was he correctly waiting? It felt like enough time for his team to come back on point. I don't know if this is an overly aggressive Reinhardt or a team that just doesn't follow up. But either way, you have to follow up. If you're all 6 of you are there and the Reinhardt charges, you can say, oh yeah, he's aggressive Reinhardt. But you got to follow up. You got to give this team fight a chance. What do we see going on here? Another soldier healing station. Why? Why? Why not come down to the point and have a fight here? This team is not being aggressive enough. See, even the Reinhardt's getting a little bit of healing back. They get an Ana grenade. The Ana, the Reinhardt, and the D.Va seem to be committing to this fight. No, their DPS is not committing to this fight. So what I see right here is a split. They got their tanks over here. All of their squishies are balled up, but because they didn't follow the tanks in. Oh, whatever. That's play the game right there. Again, Genji's in a sniping position, whatever you want to say, but their team just did not commit to that fight. Now, again, I don't know if it's because the Reinhardt didn't wait, but at some point, you gotta commit. Our Reinhardt went in when it wasn't perfect. A couple of us were down, and we lost some people on the way. But when you commit to that fight, more than often than not, you will take it, and it's surprising. Now, here's another Reinhardt charge. I don't know if he's just going crazy, but again, their team doesn't follow up, so it's 6-on-1. Look at the point. The point's empty. Are we going to see another healing station down at the choke? I sure hope not. Okay, here comes Soldier. Now, this may have been the Reinhardt didn't wait. Somehow I don't think so, though. And the rest of their team isn't committing either, so we're just having a field day. 6-on-1, 6-on-2. And again, you saw our push. It wasn't amazing. It was terrible. But we had it coordinated, and we did ult simultaneously together. And that's what wins. Bam. No time left. We get it. So, do you see this happening? I see this happening all the time. Teams not committing to fights, not knowing when to start, not knowing what an initiation looks like, not following up on tanks creating space. Hopefully you guys see it. This is a big issue. Oh yeah, even our Symmetra commenter right there. Nobody used my teleporter. Well, we didn't need it, because they didn't come in as one unit. Look, everyone's on fire. Everyone except me is on fire. The other team's tilted, saying report, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, if you have your fights on the point, on the payload, magic stuff happens, and you just end up winning, and you don't even know really how. So, please, everybody, be more aggressive. Follow your tanks in. If you're a Winston maybe can't create physical space, but he can create mental space by sort of distracting everybody. Hey, I'm a Winston. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to bubble. I'm going to do as much damage. Maybe I'm going to sacrifice myself. But Pharah, follow it up with Rocket Barrage. Okay, got it. Maybe once Rocket Barrage starts, if you're still alive, you can go into Primal Rage, things like that. Just have your fights all at the same time. Maybe your Reinhardt that's aggressively charging isn't aggressively charging. Maybe that's his signal to say, hey, we need to initiate this team fight. Everybody commit, even if it's bad. You'll get more team fights, don't worry. You'll get 3 or 4 more. In fact, it's probably better because if you die as a group, then you don't have to wait around as much and spawn for regroup. So everybody commit to the team fight wholeheartedly all the time. I've seen it on another match. Let me quickly say I was a Winston, and we were on Anubis, and everyone's like, group up on the second point. We group up, and I'm like, okay, now what? Nobody had anything. We're all 6 standing there, so I said, okay, I'm going to go in. I jump in, I bubble, I start harassing the back line. I'm saying, come in, come in, come in. And all the team did was just sit at the end of the archway and shoot down and do nothing. You know, D.Va from that distance is not going to do any damage with the damage fall. Nobody is. Nobody came in and had their fight on the point. There's this problem where people think they're just going to shoot from the choke and then magically something's going to happen and the other team will just give up and they'll take the second point. No, in order to take the point, you have to fight the enemy. And in order to fight the enemy, you got to be up on them, you know, unless you're a widow. But so that's that. I mean, are you being aggressive enough? Be aggressive. Take the point. You'll have better matches. If you like this sort of stuff, you know, comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. But until next time.